Coming up on Theater Talk.
Another show called Bloody Irish is coming in at the end of the season.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, there's no theaters left.
Well,
There'll be some available. With
It'll
these.
be.
Have you been listening?
Theater Talk is made possible in part by the CUNY TV Foundation. From New York City, this is Theater Talk. I'm Susan Haskins.
And I'm Michael Riedel of the New York Post.
So, Michael, what are you looking forward to most in the spring season on Broadway and off-Broadway?
I'm looking forward to Michael Musto's Professor Harold Hill shirt. You're dressed like the Music Man, Michael Musto.
Well, you might call me a failure, but I happen to be without Advocate paper, New York Times logo, and the Village Voice wants me back, so I'm dressing fancy.
And cocktails,
You're on the rise.
cocktails with,
Logo,
show got
TVs,
renewed, yes.
Cocktails and Classics, third season coming up,
yes.
which is better than the Broadway season we're here to talk about.
That's right. Well, yes, before we turn this into the Michael Musto show, we are looking at the spring with all the new shows coming to Broadway and off-Broadway here in New York City. And we're joined by our panel of so-called experts. The overrated Patrick Pacheco.
So-called overrated.
That's right. Where do you work these days, Patrick? I can't keep it straight.
Artinfo.com, New York One.
Ooh,
LA
all over the
Times.
place. And the Music Man, Michael Musto.
And by the way, at the end of the season, Nerds is going to open. It's going to beat Hamilton for every category.
That's it, exactly. And the only man with a proper job, Jesse Green from New York Magazine.
But apparently not the proper outfit.
Where did you get that shirt, Michael?
I have friends who know my taste and my budget,
Wait, and they're your friends?
former friends.
All right, so we are talking about the new shows coming to Broadway, and we must acknowledge the fact that everything will be overshadowed still by Hamilton, which has an advance now, I believe, of $70 million. Wow. Is there any point for any other musical to bother coming in now, Patrick? I mean, Hamilton's going to win it all, right?
Shuffle Along.
Which
Which is actually supposed to be a revival. I think the producer, Scott Rudin, is going to petition the Tony Administration Committee to allow it to come into as a revival.
So he's
But
not
it's
up against
actually,
Hamilton for awards.
Possibly not. Depends on what the administration rules.
Well, what is Shuffle Along exactly?
Shuffle Along and its subtitle, or the making of the musical sensation of 1921 and all that followed. And it's the all that followed that's going to be the most interesting part about it, because it features an all-star African-American cast, and it is considered...
Audra McDonald.
Audra McDonald, Brian Stokes Mitchell,
Billy Porter.
Joshua Henry, Billy Porter.
George
Extraordinary.
Clooney.
And it is directed and adapted by George C. Wolfe.
With choreography by?
By
Savion Glover.
Savion Glover. Thank you.
And if it really is a making of the original Shuffle Along black musical, then it's very shady to pretend it's a revival. Because
Yes.
it's more than just a recreation of Shuffle Along.
This is not the original Shuffle Along, which was a review of songs by U.B. Blake back
Not
in
a
the
review,
And
but-
Noble Sissel.
Noble
Yeah.
Sissel.
Yeah.
It wants to show how that original musical changed the course of musical theater in America. So clearly it follows up way beyond what the original showed.
It was revolutionary, actually. I mean, it was the
You
first
saw
time
the
that-
original, didn't you?
I did. I was there. Actually, I was in it.
And it had Josephine Baker in the chorus.
Eventually, yeah. She was on the road company. But I think it's a fascinating sort of postmodern reconstructed aspect of this show. And it's the thing that I'm looking forward to. The story itself is rather thin. It's about a corrupt mayoral race in a fictional town called Jimtown. But I think that given the vast amount of talent, it's going to give Hamilton a run for its money in some categories.
Well, but do you think, is it a new musical? It sounds to me like a new musical.
I'm going to wait and see, but now we know where Sondheim got Anyone Can Whistle from, right? Corrupt mayoral race in a small town.
Only you remember the plot of Anyone Can Whistle, actually.
No.
I was there that night. But anyway, Audra McDonald obviously gets a Tony every time she reads the phone book.
Right.
However, this year the front runner so far is Cynthia Erivo for
Yeah.
Purple.
Who's
so
brilliant.
it's going to be
Brilliant.
a race down to the finish.
Yes.
I think the producers of new musicals, at one point we thought they wouldn't bring any in, and now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7, depending on how you count Shuffle Along, coming in in the spring. So I guess they figured, well, there's other awards to get.
Well, I mean, I also figured nobody can get into Hamilton, so the
Right,
spillover
so-
business
Yeah,
might be
yeah.
worth
Somebody's
picking
gotta
up.
get
There's
that.
something beyond awards.
Susan has a point. You come in when you have a theater.
Exactly.
You know,
Yes.
and you
Yes.
have
Never
your
has a point.
financing and you have your creative team.
But there's a total of 13, I counted 13 original musicals, 14 if you count Shuffle Along as a new musical
Right.
this season, which is a very good record. Remember the years when they couldn't even fill up the category. Of
Right.
course, some of these are about baking contests and, you know.
Well, that's that. Now, here's one I mean, it's a sweet little movie, and it's got a nice little score, Waitress. But, I mean, seriously, a musical about a lady who makes pies. It's okay when it was Mrs. Lovett, and she was baking people into them. But she makes pies in a diner. This is a musical?
But you could have said the same thing about Once. Sweet little movie.
I hated
a
Once.
sweet
So
little
did
musical. Yes, but it was successful and it won the Tony for Best
It was
Musical.
like, oh, it's so
So it could be-
sad here in Ireland where it's raining all the
But
time.
you have
Now,
an
Waitress,
all
all-woman creative team.
Are they all
right.
white?
Whoa.
Are they all white too?
And the composer of A Waitress is
Sarah
Sarah
Bareilles.
Bareilles, and that's
has a
definitely
family,
in its favor.
yes.
And Jessie Mueller's always fantastic.
Yes.
She's the star
yes,
of Waitress.
Yes,
And
God.
directed by Diane
right.
Hollis.
And
And
written
she's-
by Jessica Nelson, who's a very well-known screenwriter.
And she makes pies.
It can work.
Somebody's got to
can
do
work.
it.
It's going to be soulful and heartfelt, and it's going to have sad music because she's in an abusive relationship, but she's going to find female empowerment through pies. This is not a Broadway musical. I'm sorry, Susan.
It
And of course,
is-
every
What?
show now is interactive where they drag you up to conga. But is this one going to serve pies? to
In
the
your
audience?
face, baby, in your face.
So if you don't like the musicals that do that, why are you so against Hamilton, which is a Broadway musical?
Jealous.
I don't run with the pack the way
Oh, I see. You're a rebel.
Yeah, and I don't feel the need, like you aging critics, to show how hip I am because
Right.
I like the rap musical Hamilton, which is what you are all doing in your slavish
Gee,
praise
quality has nothing to do with it.
of Hamilton.
Nothing at all.
Hamilton is. I'm sorry, Hamilton is
Well,
overrated.
That's fine. The point I want to make is that there is room for more than one kind of show on Broadway. I don't know whether the pie making will cut it or not, but it doesn't have
You
to
know
be
what
the
I
same.
love? I love School of Rock. It's the little kids on the stage jumping up and down.
As
But
someone
I
who
love it.
has little kids or
Jumping
had
at
them,
them.
I had enough of it. I don't really want to go to the theater to see it.
No, A
as
School
well.
of Rock is so fun.
I thought.
Well, it obviously thawed the chill on Andrew Lloyd Webber's career because now they're bringing
Yes.
back Cats. God help us.
And they'll have
Help
3
us,
shows.
right.
He's going to have 3 shows on Broadway at once, presumably.
And Waitress does have the distinction of a chart-topping hit. It's the first song since 1985 to
That's
make
come out of
the
a Broadway
charts.
musical.
That's come out of a
right,
Broadway
yeah.
musical.
It's performed,
since-
I think, by Sarah Bareilles.
It is.
Yeah.
It
Well,
is.
we'll see. We'll see. What about? Here's another one. American Psycho. I mean, okay. Well, again, Sweeney Todd. He was a serial killer. We got another musical. about a serial
Combine
killer.
American Psycho with,
With Waitress, and you've got
you have
Sweeney Todd.
Done.
And then, again, you have a pop songwriter like Sarah
Yeah.
Bareilles. You have Duncan Sheik.
You, Michael, were around in the 1980s here in New York.
I was around in the 1920s.
Right, to shuffle along. But American Psycho, I've never quite understood what that novel, the Bret Easton
It's a
Ellis
Bret
novel.
Easton
What is it
Ellis
about?
novel.
What
His
is it about?
favorite topic is the corruption of capitalism and
Right.
consumerism. His books always listed designer names and high-end stores. It was lists upon lists and menu items.
Right.
And it's about how this could lead to psychosis.
Right.
I'm fine. I have a lot of money, and I'm not killing anybody. Then again, I take showers, and I saw Psycho, and I don't kill anybody. But I don't get how this cries out to be musicalized, but that makes it interesting to me.
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
they should make obvious musicals always based on cuddly, nice movies like School of Rock, which I enjoyed.
Right.
But let's go to someplace darker here, and that could be cool.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the Lottery, the Shirley Jackson musical. Patrick, American Psycho, good
Correct.
buzz from London where it started, correct?
Fairly good buzz. I mean, it got very mixed reviews in London, actually. But directed by Rupert Gould, Gould,
Yeah.
who's one of the hot young directors. And it stars Benjamin Walker, who was in Bloody Bloody Andrew Jackson. And it's being produced by Jeffrey Richards, who has a good track record. So I think it's going to be. It was supposed to have been done at second stage, but they said, don't bother with off Broadway. Let's take it straight to Broadway.
I mean, it's the kind of thing as a critic you're going to go into it, Jesse, and think, well, I'm going to be I'm curious. I'm going to be surprised. It's not,
No,
hello,
I think
Dolly.
I'll judge it beforehand. In fact, I write the reviews a week before.
I must say, though, I like Duncan Sheik. Do you like his music? Did you like Spring Awakening?
I like his music for Spring Awakening. You know, the kind of Psychosis musical on Broadway, there's one spot for that too, just right next door.
But we have 10 of them.
So they'll fight each other to the death, and one of them will be left.
All right, Bright Star, which is of interest only because Steve Martin has written it with the woman who beat up poor little Paul Simon.
Edie
Edie
Brickell.
Brickell.
Raquel.
Raquel.
She knocked her husband Paul Simon around. Wonder if he'll come to the opening with her. What do we know about Bright Star, Patrick?
I saw it. I saw it at the Old Globe.
And
some years ago, and I thought that it was very promising. I thought it had great potential. Again, it fits into the sort of the once niche. It's
Is it
very
warm and meaningful?
low key. It's
What's it about?
It's a southern sort of southern. It's got a southern Gothic meandering plot. It's parallel plots that take place both in 1923 and 1945, and it's about a young man coming back from World War II that kind of
Wow.
that discovers a whole scene of skullduggery. But it has a great
Do you
score.
work for the publicist?
No, it has
should
a
be
great
fired.
score by
Just
Bluegrass.
don't even bring it in. I'm begging you, please. Patrick's description alone
It's
is
got a terrific.
I can't even get through the synopsis.
And there's another show with a similar Tuck Everlasting. Is sort of
That's right.
same.
But in its favor, it's got a terrific bluegrass score that was to the song.
Sorry, you're
guys
losing
are
him.
just
You're losing him,
snobs.
Doctor. Get the paddles.
And they hand out razor
You
blades to
guys
the
are
audience.
snobs. It's going to come in. It's going to sweep the Tony Award, and you're going to have egg on your face.
Well, I don't prejudge, as I just said.
Oh my God! All right. Enough. I can't listen to any more descriptions from Patrick. Tuck Everlasting.
I got excited when they said the woman who beat up Paul Simon. I thought, Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher wrote a show. Okay, Tuck Everlasting is based on a story of literally a family that, because I did my research, a family that lives forever because of some water spewing out of a tree.
Oh, here we go.
Does that sing and dance for you?
It's being directed by Casey Nicola. So, directed and choreographed
But
by
it's not a
Casey Nicola.
spoof like the other things he's directed.
I mean,
It's heartwarming.
It's based on a Disney movie.
Well, so maybe this is the Hamilton effect. Honestly,
all the loser shows are coming in this season because Hamilton.
in this environment, a show like Disaster, which was a little off Broadway review, basically,
Right.
that no one thought would ever make it past 14th Street. Maybe there's a market for it on Broadway.
And
with
they're
all
very
the-
brave with a title like that.
Yeah,
Right.
really.
Well, and it's a spoof of disaster movies like
Yes.
Earthquake and
And I saw it on
Towering
Broadway.
Inferno.
I saw it. It was very funny.
Is it funny? Is it? Seth
And they've gotten
Fedeschi?
a very slick Broadway cast now because it has Adam Pascal, Kerry Butler, Faith Prince,
Right.
Roger Bart.
Right.
And they
Seth-
use old disco songs, old 70s hits. They put double entendres into them. So when they sing Hot Stuff by Donna Summer, each character has a different meaning of the hot stuff they're looking for.
Well,
So is it like-
presumably when they sing hot stuff, they're doing a Towering Inferno.
Yeah,
number.
really.
Well, there's three different things going on. There's earthquakes, there's piranhas, there's sharks, there's tidal waves,
And it's written by Seth Rudetsky.
and Jack Plotnick.
Did Jack know?
And is it sort of like the
just
Xanadu
camp?
slot?
Is it just
it like
Yeah,
Xanadu?
I think that's why they have Kerry Butler. It's like a Xanadu mocking old
Oh,
tropes.
I can tell a Charles Isherwood rave review is coming on for this Camp Fest. All right, let's move on to some serious things, please.
Yes.
Nerds.
Well, that's the way. That's nerds.
We didn't mention that musical, which is slipping into the season.
Yeah.
Just briefly, it's Steve Jobs and
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
And they're using holograms, and it's interactive, as all these shows are, and it's state of the art and all blah, blah, blah. And another show called Bloody Irish is coming in at the end of the season.
Is it?
Yeah.
What is it? I've never
Okay,
heard
there's
of
no theaters left.
There'll be some available with
It'll
these.
be-
Have you been listening?
All right, this is a
right, on to
this
the
is an art
plays.
show.
On to the plays.
On to the plays. There are some serious plays here.
Yeah.
I, for one, am looking forward to The Father, which is not to be confused with Strindberg's The
Right.
Father.
Yeah.
But Frank Langella is coming into play. I believe it's a French play. Do we know? What do we know
It
about
is, Elizabeth Vincentelli has told us that it's French, so we have to believe her.
Right.
Yeah, it was a hit in Paris and I guess in London as well. And it's about Well, I mean, I'm falling into the bad press agentry category, but it's about
Why do you look at me?
it's about dementia.
And it has a bluegrass score.
But it's apparently a tour de force role, and if there was ever someone for a tour de force role,
Frank
Langella
Langella.
is it.
Frank Langella. Listen, I'm always happy to have Frank Langella on Broadway. He's one of our best actors. He's a proper old-fashioned theater actor who just gives those great old big performances that we don't see enough of. All right, we also have
Huey with Forrest Whitaker.
Well,
Huey, the wonderful O'Neill.
the wonderful O'Neill play. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I love Huey actually. Last time I saw it was Al Pacino when he could act.
But Al did it on the phone.
I want to say something. I saw China Doll a couple of nights ago.
Now we
and,
should say China Doll is the
China
terrible
Doll-
David Mamet play with
China
Al
Doll
Pacino.
has Al Pacino, but we went now. Al has learned his lines at this point. And
He's being fed them. He's got teleprompters all over the set.
Whatever. As we said in our last show, it doesn't matter. But the thing is, it's gotten to the point where it's so crazy, and you've just got Al up there exerting such energy, and it's turned into a comedy, and I was entertained. So I have to say, if you like Al Pacino,
But if you stay for
Go
Act
to
3,
China
it
Doll.
turns out he was talking to a dial tone the whole time.
It made its money.
It made its money.
Not
Did it
quite.
get recouped?
I don't think.
Oh,
I do not believe it's recouped. I do not believe it's
It
recouped.
hasn't been. It hasn't announced recoupment.
It has not recouped
All right.
because it
I
had a
think
big
the
advance,
two,
but
I think
fell
the
apart
two,
quickly.
not to get serious and talk about the season like we're supposed to, the two big dramas are obviously going to be The Humans, which is moving from off-Broadway,
Right.
as is
Which got rave reviews.
Eclipsed.
And Blackbird. Well,
Well, that's
a
a
revival or
revival.
not?
All right. Well,
It
for
seems that it would be
for
a
people who have not
Yes,
seen these
yes.
shows yet or don't know about them, Eclipsed is coming from the Public Theater, and it stars,
It stars Lupita Nyong'o.
and she plays.
She plays a young woman who is faced with a choice of becoming kind of wife number 4 of a warlord in Africa during Civil War, or alternatively becoming one of the rebels and going out and shooting people. So she has a fun choice ahead of her. And it's
You liked it though. You gave it. A
I
good
did
review.
like it. It's a very strong play by Denai Guerrera, I think is
Yes.
that how it's said, who is also an actress who's on The Walking Dead. I mean, I don't know how many people have that job description. Serious playwright and performer.
Did you see it, Patrick?
I did not see it. I did.
Why the hell are you here?
But I
Mike-
did see The Humans.
yes, which got rave
which is a
reviews.
play by Stephen Karam, extremely talented. Loved his play Sons of the Prophet, which was previously at the roundabout second or third stage. And The Humans is terrific. It's sort of like a Thanksgiving dinner sort of gone awry. It shares some qualities with a delicate balance in a way in terms of this unknown, this kind of
Scary thing that's entered their lives.
That,
Yeah.
that has entered their lives, but it's unnamed. And there's just this high anxiety, which sort of fits the mood of the country right now.
Dysfunctional
In terms
family
of-
play.
Dysfunctional family gets together for a holiday, and there are revelations. Somebody has cancer. Somebody cheated. It seems
Somebody's
a little
gay.
banal on the page, but the dialogue is crackling,
And
your
terrific
sympathies
direction.
keep shifting among the different characters, and the acting was terrific.
Rich's mom is a therapist. Why don't you get it from her?
Yeah, Dad, I'll get therapy from my mother-in-law. That's an awesome idea.
She's not your mother-in-law unless you get married.
It's actually a mashup of genres.
Yes.
It does have that Thanksgiving family play quality, which makes it familiar enough, I think, to be able to sell. But it's got a horror element to it as well. It's psychological horror, but it's pretty scary at
Yeah.
points. And I think certainly it'll be a prestige.
It looks
choice.
like it seems to be the favorite to win the Tony for best play this year.
yes, it
Well,
does.
I think it's
there's a
between
lot
that
of-
and Eclipse, I
and
would
China
imagine.
Doll.
And,
And nerds.
and Blackbird is a very powerful play.
And what is it about?
It's about a woman. I don't want to give anything away, but about a woman who goes to work for a man who she
Had an affair with.
knew. Well, she had an affair with, but she had an affair with him when she was underage, and it's very powerful.
She doesn't work with him, right? She tracks him down.
She tracks him
to
down,
the
right.
place of his work. He was in his 30s. She was 12.
Yes,
or
something like that.
13.
Whoa.
And
It's very powerful.
It's shifting loyalties, and
Yes.
he's gone to prison. He's paid his debt to society. She tracks him down to his place of work, and they have this scene in one of the nondescript rooms of the work. And you don't know if she's there for revenge or to resume the relationship or whatever else is going on at that time.
Very powerful play.
Right.
Very.
It was a show that has opened, and I'm curious to get your take on this revival of Noises Off, a play that I saw originally and I loved as a kid with Dorothy Loudon and Paxton Whitehead, Victor Garber. Brian Murray, I think, was in it too. And I just remember laughing from start to finish. I haven't seen this revival yet. Is it as good as that original was?
I did not see the original, so I can't say, but it's excellent.
It is
and
good.
I was crying with laughter for about a third of it. But then, I was crying with laughter at
Fiddler on the Roof,
Fiddler
right?
on the Roof.
Does it defy the rule that farce should not be any longer than 90 minutes, and it's a good 2.5 hours?
It's a nice long farce, but each act does something. There's 3 acts, which is also unusual, but each act does something different, and you couldn't get to the incredible insanity of the last act if you hadn't been through the
Yeah,
first.
it's got to wind it up and let it go. Did
It's,
you like it,
it's
Michael?
hilarious. I loved it. Act 1 sets the stage basically for this troupe of inept British actors who are at each other's throats.
Right.
And they're in a play within a play that is idiotic to begin with. Like they're not in.
Close Off, I think.
It's
is the name
called
of it.
Nothing On.
Nothing on.
Right.
It's a dumb sex farce with
Run for your trousers.
sardines and slamming doors. And by Act 3, insanity is taken over. And Andrea Martin was hilarious as she ends up in these like pseudo pornographic poses with the other actors.
Are we
Many people
possibly
think it's the funniest play
ever written?
Remind us-
Andrea Martin, Tony Award possibility, supporting actress here. Is she that good?
They're strong. I mean, that whole cast.
Assuming
is-
they're all given supporting actors, or actor, as the case may be. It depends on where they're played.
Well, I'm interested in the fact that Saoirse Ronan, that's how you say it, folks,
Is
Saoirse
in.
Ronan, who is up for the Oscar for Brooklyn, is
in.
starring in the Winona
Crucible.
Ryder screechy role in The Crucible,
Abigail. She's
directed by
playing
the
Abigail.
hot director du jour. How do you pronounce it?
Bo Van
Ivo
Hove.
von Hof.
Eva von Hove.
Ivo von Hof. Yeah.
And Jessica Lange and Gabriel Byrne and Michael Shannon and John Gallagher Jr. are going to be in Long Day's Journey
I must say,
into the Night.
I am a very big fan of Jessica Lange, even though she did that terrible Glass Menagerie several years ago. But
And came on Theater Talk to talk about it. Which
Yeah, she was
really
great.
And a horrible streetcar named Desire.
no, I disagree with you there. If you were in the first 5 rows, Jessica Lange was heartbreaking.
I was in-
the problem
I was
is
in
you
row
couldn't
6.
hear from row 6 onward.
She had already had the breakdown,
That was
basically.
a
No,
problem.
but she's been working on clearly. She's been
Projecting?
working. Well, it's not just about voice. It's about scaling up a performance to the size of a stage show.
Yeah.
With the cameras in your face, you don't have to do it.
Well, a brilliant Long Day's Journey was Brian Dennehy and Vanessa Redgrave.
Fabulous.
They're going to have a hard time rivaling
I mean,
that.
Vanessa Redgrave she's really
She literally
insane
was
in
climbing
real life.
the
and
wall.
She was insane on stage and off. but it was a
Jessica's
brilliant
been doing
performance.
American Horror Freak Show, so she should be all ready.
Ready.
So then Lady Gaga should do Eugene O'Neill too, because she's on American Horror
She
Show.
will. She will. Don't worry. All right, we got to wrap it up here. Anything off Broadway that looks interesting to you, Patrick? Can you try it without your notes? No, he has no idea what's going on.
Well, we have Claire Danes has just been announced with John Krakowski and
Yeah, Claire Danes. I never really thought of her as an American actress, but
and Hank Azaria in Dry Powder
wait, am I
Public.
confusing Claire Danes with?
Homeland.
Claire Bloom.
No, Taylor. Oh, I thought it was Taylor Danes.
No.
Love will
no, it was
lead
Claire
you
Danes.
back. Oh, I thought
From
it was
Homeland
Danes.
and from My So-Called Life.
The actress.
Now, we
not
all
the pop
understand
singer.
that the clock has run out completely
Thank
on this
God.
episode of Theater Talk.
Thank God.
Thank
We
God.
got to find a way to wrap it up.
Oh, we got 1 minute.
We got 1 minute left. All right, the big news now, and this is not for this coming season, but it is interesting. Bette Midler,
Bette Midler.
coming back next year in Hello, Dolly.
Absolutely.
Are you blowing the dust off this old Carol Channing warhorse?
Well, I think that it has not been revived because nobody wants to tackle that iconic performance by Carol Channing. But if anybody can, it's Bette Midler. She's terrific. The interesting thing about it is that Carol Channing created it at the age of 43. Barbara Streisand played in the film at the age of 27, and
wasn't
Bette
that
Midler
a
will be
success?
taking on the role at the age of 71.
Bet 71?
It will be 71 when she plays
Well, how old
Dolly
was Ethel
Gallagher.
Merman when she did it?
God
Younger than
knows.
that.
Yeah.
But the character is described as a woman in her middle years.
But Bette Midler doesn't really seem any age.
No.
That's true.
That's true.
That's very true.
She's Bette Midler.
And Carol was still doing it into her
Yeah.
75, 76.
And was
77.
doing great.
I think she wanted to do this.
You say nobody
revival.
wanted to
I'm
do
sure
the part.
she did.
Carol Channing originally was replaced by a whole bevy of incredible
Right.
stars, from Ginger Rogers to I think
Betty Garrett.
Phyllis Diller.
Phyllis
Jack
Diller.
Benny was set to do it in drag when he croaked.
Leroy Reams just did it.
Did it down in Florida.
Down in
It's
Florida.
great
I think-
casting. I hope Bette realizes, however, Dolly Levi is actually Irish. She married a Jewish person. That's true. Tova Felcia is the only one who ever played Dolly Irish because she actually read the text.
Tova Felch played her as Irish. That is
Well,
true.
she is Irish.
That's true. And you know that great story that Leroy Reams told me? I put it in my column recently. When they were on tour, and Carol was the last tour, and they roll into Indianapolis, and they were sharing a marquee with an exhibition hall, and it said Carol Channing in Hello, Dolly, antique show.
Welcome to Broadway.
That's right. Exactly.
Home of the
But if anyone can make Hello, Dolly fresh and snappy and fun, it's going to be
Yeah,
Miss
that's
Totally.
something to look for.
Very good casting. But wasn't she immobile when she played Sue Menger? She couldn't get off the couch, remember?
Well, that was the character. Sue Mengers did not get off the couch in real life.
Well, are they going to have like a chair attached to the banister at the
No, but
Harmonia Gardens to kind of slide her down?
That was a 90-minute play with one character, her. This is I mean, certainly Dolly is the lead, but there's lots of other things going on.
Is
She
there
can
a
go
lot
get oxygen backstage while the
Does
kids
Dolly
are
Levi dance much, though, in Hello, Dolly? I can't
lot.
quite remember.
Oh my goodness.
Does she
A
dance?
lot,
No.
yeah.
She struts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she doesn't really dance.
She has to go down those stairs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you could hello, you do this. This is all you do with a.
Yeah, well, in the last revival, Carol Channing was being like carried down, stapled to pieces of wood.
This is the first time that she's performing on Broadway with anybody else other than her concert reviews that were
She'll be
tremendously
fine.
successful.
She will be fabulous.
And she did Fiddler on the Roof, Zeidel in Fiddler
That's
on
right,
the Roof in
that's right.
1967 when she first arrived in New York.
And she
from
played it Irish.
Hawaii.
All
Now,
right.
time to wrap it up, Michael.
All right, that's it. So we did wrap it up, right? So we say goodbye.
Do we say goodbye?
Say goodbye. Goodbye, Patrick Pacheco. Thank you for whatever insights you lent here. Professor Harold Hill.
76 trombones.
Michael Must. Jesse Green can't get over his.
I'm leaving the business.
No, Jesse, you're
No,
fabulous.
you got to stick around.
Although,
the
Michael-
waitress
Somebody has to know something.
stuck everlasting.
Michael, it's so nice to have you back right here where you belong.
Oh,
And cheers to not mentioning your book once.
Razzle Dazzle, the Battle for Broadway now in its fifth routine.
That's our drinking game.
Our thanks to the Friends of Theater Talk for their significant contribution to this production. Theater Talk is made possible in part by the Frederick Lowe Foundation, the Corey and Bob Dinelli Charitable Fund, the Noel Coward Foundation, Carrie J. Fries, the Dorothy Strelson Foundation, and the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs.
We welcome your questions or comments for Theater Talk. Thank you.